Welcome back to a Big Ten championship version of the Illini Postgame Show, brought to you by No One Asked Us. Illinois is the Big Ten champion. They beat Iowa 74-72 at the State Farm Center to clinch a share of the Big Ten title. They are sharing that title with Wisconsin, but it is a regular season Big Ten title for the Illinois Fighting Illini. I'm Craig Choate. That is Logan Lee joining me from South Bend, Indiana, with a smile on his face, a giggle in his voice, because Illinois is a Big Ten champ. Like, what?
Yeah, what a day, man. What a day.
So much had to happen for Illinois to grab this. Last week when Wisconsin beat Purdue at the buzzer in Madison, I think most Illini fans, myself included, probably you, lost pretty much all hope, because for Illinois to claim their share, Wisconsin would have to lose at home to Nebraska, the 14th team in the Big Ten. And then it came out this morning that Nebraska was going to be without Bryce McGowens, their superstar freshman, maybe a Big Ten freshman of the year. I think it's either him or Malachi Branham. They were going to be without him with a wrist injury. And then during the course of the game, his brother, I think it's his brother, Trey McGowens, another starter for Nebraska, was ejected from the game. And if you watch the game, Nebraska wasn't getting any favors from the people in stripes. But somehow, some way, Nebraska upsets Wisconsin this afternoon. And it set the stage. And it was just 4 hours of pure I didn't know how to feel. Like, I almost wish the game would have been immediately following Wisconsin-Nebraska, because there was 4 hours of just sitting and waiting. And I had convinced myself, I'm not going to lie, I texted a couple people, there's only one way this game ends tonight, and it's going to be with an Illinois loss. Like, I was prepared for a loss after having the chance, because I wasn't expecting the chance. What was your mood today heading between the Wisconsin-Nebraska game and the tip-off of Illinois-Iowa?
So I was very caught off guard. I was back home for the weekend and was traveling back during the day today with the intention of being back home, in time for tip-off for the Illinois game. Had no intention of checking in on the Wisconsin game. I just assumed that was a lost cause. I didn't think Illinois was playing for anything tonight other than Big Ten tournament seeding and potentially NCAA tournament seeding. At one point during my drive, I checked the score. I don't remember what it was, but at the time, Nebraska was winning that game. So I thought, interesting. And then I checked it another 20 or so minutes later. And at that point, Wisconsin was winning the game by like 10 points. I don't remember what the score was. I was driving. I wasn't giving it much attention, but and then we stopped and Allison took over and she drove, and I was able to watch the end of that game. And from that moment on, I was in a very, very different state today. Just like I imagine you and everybody else. I'm kind of with you. I just kind of didn't see this happening. I just thought that enough things had gone the wrong way for Illinois that it wasn't going to happen. But here we are. Doing a podcast as after Illinois is now regular season Big Ten champ, something we haven't been able to say in a very, very, very long time. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see any of this coming. Not what happened today with Wisconsin. Not really what happened tonight. Then there was a point, we'll get to it in the first half, where I thought this is over. I mean, I wasn't extremely vocal out on the internet, like I know a lot of Illini Twitter was, but yeah. You want to chime in? Was that you?
You should be proud of me.
Because
I did not send a single tweet from tip-off to buzzer. I tweeted before tip-off, I'm not physically or mentally prepared for the next 2.5 hours. But no matter what happens, we're all family. And then the next tweet I sent was a Illinois Big Ten champs banner that I created. That's the next tweet I sent. Said hang the banner.
I didn't even
did not send one single tweet during the game. That might be a first.
I am very proud of you. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic for how this ended. Today was certainly a roller coaster. And we're here. We did it. We didn't do anything. They did it, but we're here to celebrate it on their behalf.
All right. Before we get into dissecting it, let's go over the stats. Kofi, a monster day, 21 points, 14 boards. Alfonso Plummer had 15 points, didn't do much else. 2 threes for him, 3 free throws. Only other player in double figures was Andre Curbelo. He ended up with 14, but he did take 12 shots. He was 4 of 12 from the field. He fouled out. He had 6 assists and 4 rebounds. Coleman Hawkins played well. He was 1 point shy of a double-double, 9 points and 11 boards. Trent Frazier only scored 2 points. 2 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. DeMonte Williams, 7 points, 3 assists. And then Goody and Melendez each had 3 points. Each hit one single 3-point field goal for Illinois. For Iowa, Keegan Murray had 22. Chris Murray had 13. Tony Perkins had 17. No one else really was a factor for them. They had Rebracho with 6, Toussaint with 5, Sanford with 7, Ulis with 2. Jordan Bohannon did not score a single point. Connor McCaffrey did not score a single point. So that's just a quick rundown of the stats here. Illinois was down 15 points in the first half. I don't know the exact time that they were down with 3:12 left in the first half. So late in the first half, they were down 43-28. And they came back and made it a 6-point game at half, 43-37. Yeah, they went on a 9-0 run to end the half. And that was huge. Changed the entire momentum of the game. They came out and they got the lead pretty quickly into the second half. And then it was kind of back and forth. Illinois' biggest lead was 6 with 2:19 left at 73-67. Iowa had chances, man. Illinois did not put Iowa away. They had a shot to win it at the buzzer. A 3, I don't know who took the 3, but a 3 from the corner bounced off the rim. I think it was Keegan. I think it was Chris Murray. I don't think it was Keegan. I think it was Chris Murray. Bounced off the rim with like 2 seconds left and no one could corral it. And Trent grabbed it and ran out the clock. And then they stormed the court, which I think is something that we want to talk about in our post-game pod because Logan's been getting some texts about the court storming. But that's kind of how the game went. We can talk about a couple things. Kofi was great. He took 17 shots tonight after only taking a handful against Penn State. He only had 11 points against Penn State, 21 tonight on 9 of 17 shooting. That's more like Kofi. And again, this wasn't a great matchup for him because Iowa's bigs are not traditional bigs. They're more stretch bigs. And I thought he did really well offensively and defensively. There was one defensive possession late where he was on Keegan Murray, walled him up twice really good, and then Murray shot faked and got him in the air. Kofi ended up fouling. So he played like Casey Jacobson said, 25 good seconds out of the 30, and then he fouled. But I thought Kofi was back to normal tonight.
He was great. His defense has really impressed me, especially of late. Just for what he has shown, to be able to come out and defend smaller players. He's not great at it. It's still work in progress. But he has impressed me. He had some really nice defensive possessions on both Keegan and Chris Murray at several times tonight, and I was really impressed with him. Again, his 21 and 14, they needed every bit of it. Just as Wisconsin or Iowa wasn't a great matchup for Kofi, they didn't really have an answer for him either. So you get what you get from him. He's certainly proven to be an absolute dynamo for the Illini. I've just been impressed with his defense. I think that's kind of been my biggest takeaway. We know what we're going to get from him on the offensive end. Yes, he still missed some shots. He was hounded by 3 or 4 Hawkeyes at different times, but he's come a long way from on the defensive end, I'd say.
Yeah,
had a big block towards the end of the game too, to just get enough of his hand on the shot. It wasn't an emphatic block, but it was just enough to alter the course. And I think that's when Coleman ended up with the jump ball possession. Maybe there was a big turning point too. Yeah.
That leads into our next. Coleman Hawkins did get the start tonight because Jake Grandison did miss tonight's game. Coleman Hawkins got the start and he played really, really, really well. 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting. He hit the 3 to give Illinois the lead. late. I don't know what the score, like 65, 64, something like that. He hit the three to give Illinois that lead. He had 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 37 minutes Coleman Hawkins played. He started the season so good. I think he averaged 14 points through the first 3 games when Kofi was out. And then after Kofi came back, he went into some slumps, man. He wasn't doing anything. We didn't want to see him on the court. But this last 2-3 weeks, he has really turned it on. And I have no problem him having 37 minutes. 2 weeks ago, I would have said he needs to have a third of that. He needs to have 10 to 13. But 37, I have no problem with. He brought energy, and he did a little bit of everything tonight. And again, huge reason the Illini won this game and won the Big Ten championship.
He does so much. I mean, we give DeMonte a lot of credit for doing so much. Coleman is very similar in that. You mentioned the word energy. I would, if energy was actually something that you could quantify, I would say that he had more energy points or whatever you would want to say than anybody else on the court.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can call it hustle. I mean, sure, the hustle plays is certainly part of it, but just in terms of the energy that he brings, it's just not something you see from this team. He just does so much. He gets to the hoop. He was huge rebounding. He's not a great jump shot, but he can make a shot. He was excellent tonight. I don't say excellent. That's a little stretch. He was great. And we're going to see more of him as we get into postseason play and hopefully more of him in the seasons to come, because he has really turned a corner the last few weeks. He's been a huge part of this team, and we don't know how long Jake's not going to be on the court, but having him in that slot, I wasn't really concerned about that. There are certainly things about Jake not being there that concern me and that were a factor tonight, but swapping Coleman in for Jake into the starting lineup and giving him more minutes, that part did not bother me. That wouldn't have been it. I thought he was huge.
He did make some bonehead passes tonight, though. He did only have 2 turnovers.
There were a few of those. It wasn't just him.
Yeah, the next guy we're going to talk about, Coleman Hawkins is sometimes I just don't know what he sees when he throws the ball somewhere.
There's some of that on the team.
Very similar to a certain number 5 for the Illini, Andre Curbelo. 14 points, which is great. I had not looked at the box score until just now when I read off the stats. I had no idea that Andre Curbelo scored 14 points tonight. I would have thought he had about 8 points and 8 turnovers. He had 14 points, 4 turnovers, but he had 6 assists. It's legitimately a roller coaster with this dude.
A roller coaster with this dude. Are you pulling up ESPN? Do you have his plus minus?
I don't have ESPN.
I don't have it. I have ESPN. I don't have it pulled up. I'd be curious to know what he was.
I can his efficiency rating that I like to go to was 13, which is pretty good. Okay. Anything above 10 is pretty good for efficiency rating. I don't know where plus minus is on sidearm stats. I don't know that they do it, but he's so hit or miss. At some point, I don't even want to say it because his good is so good.
Yeah.
Is there ever going to be a point where the bad outweighs the good?
Where the bad outweighs the good? Is that that's what you're asking?
Yeah. Where the turnovers in close games like this, if he would have had.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, probably.
It's what me and Logan were texting about Andre during the game. And sometimes the reward isn't worth the risk in my eyes.
No.
Tonight was close to that. Tonight was really close to that. We were talking about him and how bad he was, and then he finished the game pretty well. Like as soon as we started texting about him, he hit a and one, I think, and then he hit some free throws and he turned it around. But
yeah,
I just don't know what to think about him.
He is very divisive. He is a very divisive player. I have seen and I have heard a lot of people that are very negative towards him and that are ready to let him go, whatever. I do feel for the kid. I think this could have been a very important year for him in his development, and he didn't really get the chance to do it. So I'm not really ready to say that. I don't know. To answer your question, yes, that time probably will come at some point where the bad does outweigh. We probably have seen that. I mean, yes, tonight he did have those 14 points and he was huge for this team. What I'm concerned about sometimes is that lineup with him, Trent, and Plummer on the court together. That's kind of Trent tonight was nowhere to be found. Plummer was not much better, if at all better. I mean, I know they were on the court for free throws, I guess. I like Curbelo. I know that he's frustrating to a lot of people. And tonight was just another example. He does a lot of stupid things. He makes a lot of stupid passes. You're right. He goes 100. He's at 10 all the time. If he would only play at a 7 or 8, he'd be great, but that's not what it is. He tries to do too much. But you still end up getting a nice 14 points out of him. 6 assists. He had a big steal where he kind of picked the pocket of somebody. 4 turnovers, not ideal. And 4 for 12 from the field. Not great. His game is not a jump shot. His game is getting to the hoop. When he can get to the hoop, he's good. But a lot of the times defenses are starting to figure that out. And when there's enough other scorers on the court, they're going to, not play as tightly on him, and he's going to have those shots. So he's going to take them. That's going to be part of his game. Hopefully at some point he just learns to make more of them.
Yeah. Looks like the team is on the court right now, cutting down nets and all that good stuff. The court was stormed. So let's get into that real quick. The court was stormed and completely covered. In the pictures, you cannot see a single piece of wood from the court because it is stormed and covered with Orange Crush members. Logan is, when we started this Zoom call to record, Logan was texting with a buddy. He's had people talking to him about it. I have no problem with it. I'll just say that. Illinois just won their first Big Ten regular season title since 2005 in a game against a ranked team that the team had a shot to win. Like, it wasn't I think it justifies, it ticks every box. There's no reason that they shouldn't have stormed the court. What is the argument that you are up against here for the court storming?
I mean, the argument that is, I've seen this a couple times. This is not the first time that this has come up. It's come up for Illinois games and non-Illinois games and whatever the case may be. I mean, the discussion that was at play today was storming the court as the home favorite for a share of the conference title seems odd to this person. I don't know. I guess I just don't know what justifies storming the court. If this doesn't, what does? Like the example I said, the first thing that came to my mind was when Illinois upset Indiana, when Indiana was the number 1 seed, whatever, 10 years ago, whenever that was. Is that stormable? Is that worthy of a court storming? Like, why is that more worthy than winning the conference title? Like, I don't care who's it against. I don't care if this was against Nebraska. Like, that's, to me, like, you just won the first, even if it wasn't the first conference title. Like, to me, like, if you're going to storm the court for anything, winning even a share of the conference title on your home court seems to me like the most reason to storm the court, like more so than any regular season upset when your team is 2-12. Like, I don't understand what the reasoning is for people. Like, and this isn't like, I'm not calling out any one person in particular. I've seen this from a lot of people, from not just the Illinois game, it was brought up about the Wisconsin game last week when they stormed the court. I mean, granted, that was against Purdue, but it's not like Wisconsin was unranked. I mean, they won their share of the conference title at home on a near buzzer beater when they upset number 8 Purdue when they were number 10. Like I just don't understand what the logic is.
Yeah.
I've just seen it from various people. I've seen it from, all sorts of talking heads on Twitter and everything else. So I'm just curious, like what people's take on this is. Like when is it justifiable to storm the court? That's all I'm asking.
I think tonight checks. I
would say so. I would say so. And I would say storming the court against Purdue, if you're Wisconsin last week, when you won your share of the conference title, that's worthy of it to me too. Like if that was just a regular game that didn't mean anything, when number 10 beats number 8 on a near buzzer beater, I'm not sure that's worthy of it.
Yeah.
But if you're claiming a share of a championship, then that to me is like the most reason to do it. So I don't know. Carry on. That's my thoughts.
Let's talk about the seniors next. It was senior night. Trent Frazier, DeMonte Williams, been with Illinois all 5 years. Jacob Grandison for, I think this is his 3rd year with the program. Alfonso Plummer's 1st and only year. And they did honor Kofi tonight. He did go through the ceremony as a junior because he will declare, I'm sure, and then make his decision from there. So we've talked about it a ton, how much Trent Frazier means to this program. I believe he went through the ceremony last year as well. I believe Trent and DeMonte both went through senior night last year as well. But again, nothing wrong with that because you had to evaluate. Like you wanted to have your senior night. So we've talked about how much they mean to this program, and I hate that Trent played so bad tonight. He didn't do a lot of good things, but I'm happy for him to get the moment. He had the ball when the buzzer went off. He ran with the one, like holding up number 1, and the bench and the crowd and everything just collapsed on him. I'm happy for him and DeMonte. DeMonte hit the free throw to make it a 2-point game. Just those two, man. Been here from the start of the Underwood rebuild, and I've said it before multiple times. I'll say it again. Ayo Dosunmu is probably the face of bringing Illinois back, but Trent Frazier, I think, means the most to this program for everything he has gone through. And it's going to be weird. I'm going to miss him because I noticed tonight for the first time, they tweeted the picture of the five people that were honored. That's the starting 5. Illinois is replacing their entire starting 5 next year if Kofi and Grandison leave, because they could come back. The other 3 are done. Plummer, Frazier, and Williams are done, but Kofi and Grandison could come back. But if those 5 do decide that this was it, that's the 5 starters. So I did notice that, but give them their shout out here for what they've done.
I thought Trent was going to have his moment when he called his number again, like he did against Michigan State and Michigan. He almost connected on a 3 that would have sealed it, I think. He just missed on it. But yeah, I'm with you. I wish that he would have had a better game. But it's been great to watch those 2 guys in particular play. They have meant so much to this team, so much to this program, so much to what Brad Underwood has done. Like this would not have happened with either of them, without either of them. So for this to happen at home tonight, that's got to be pretty cool for them. They got a lot more to play for. Let's not gloss over that. But for something like this to happen tonight for the first time in a long time, with them to be here for it, that's got to be pretty cool. Happy for them.
Yep. Yes. Sorry, I'm reading through Twitter of everything that's going on right now. They got the trophy out there, cutting down nets, getting their t-shirts. Barstool Carl in the locker room again. So yeah, there was one more thing I was going to touch on, but we will move on. Big Ten tournament is up. Illinois is the number 1 seed. Wisconsin and Illinois share the regular season title, but Illinois beat Wisconsin, so they get the number 1 seed.
How about
Wisconsin is 2. Purdue is 3. I thought
Rutgers is 4.
I thought they tweeted out a bracket. Hold on, let me pull the bracket up. Rutgers is 4. You said?
We would get the winner of Michigan
and Indiana.
Indiana.
Okay, here we go. I think I got the bracket here. Illinois is 1, Wisconsin 2, Purdue 3, Rutgers 4. Iowa gets the 5. If they would have won, they would have been the 4. Illinois would have been the 3. Iowa's the 5. Ohio State 6, Michigan State 7, Michigan 8, Indiana 9, Maryland 10. And then the first round games on Wednesday.
Correct.
Penn State is the 11, Northwestern 12, Nebraska 13, Minnesota 14. So
what are you looking at? Are you looking at the right thing? Because that's not the same thing that I'm looking at.
Big Ten Network tweeted it out at 10:10. I just went 1 to 14. I didn't list the games and who's playing each other.
I was gonna say that's not even the same matchups that I was looking at.
So here's how it shakes out matchup wise. Wednesday night, Nebraska and Northwestern is game 1 of the Big Ten tournament, the 12 versus 13. Then the 11 versus 14 is Penn State versus Minnesota. The next day will be Thursday. The day starts with Indiana versus Michigan, 8 versus 9. And then Iowa gets the winner of Northwestern and Nebraska. That's game 2 of Thursday. And then the break. And then session 2 is Michigan State versus Maryland, the 7-10. And then Ohio State versus Penn State or Minnesota. The winner of that game is the nightcap. And then Illinois does tip off Friday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, the first game of the day, which scares me quite a bit because not good experience with that last year. They do get the winner of Michigan and Indiana. Then Rutgers plays the next game, and then Wisconsin, and then Purdue. I think the team that I'm scared of most in the Illini top half is probably Michigan. No?
Yes.
That Friday game, so. If they beat Indiana, because if Illinois makes it to Saturday, it's either Rutgers or Iowa, which I know Michigan's the 8, but I think Michigan's probably better than Rutgers and Iowa. Iowa is playing well, but you just beat them. So you did just beat Michigan as well, but I think Michigan is a tougher test.
I wouldn't want to play Iowa again.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'm kind of fine with where this is. Yes, you're right. I don't know that Michigan is that Michigan doesn't worry me. But there are some matchups in there that I would be a little bit more afraid of than that one. Either way, you got to win them. You got to win them. I mean, they've already got their one banner this year. But at this point, you got more to play for, and it's certainly winnable. Michigan is. I think they can get past that one. But you're right, that early start time can be a little alarming. But I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought they would be the 2 or the 3. They'd be playing in the evening. Didn't think I have to worry about Friday morning. But alas, here we are.
Here we are. That is true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Michigan. Well, it could be Indiana too.
It could be Indiana.
Let's not look
very well. Could be Indiana. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
We have a lot of stuff we could talk about. There's a lot of things we could talk about.
What do you got?
I don't know what it would be. I just have a lot of thoughts going on up here in my head, and there's just
we should say, I don't think that we said this explicitly. This is the first regular season title since 2005.
Yes.
First regular season Big Ten title since 2005. That's hard to believe, is it not?
Yeah. There's been some bad basketball since 2005.
17 years,
it's a long time for a program that people want to think is among the elite or the near elite as a program, for them to have not won a conference title, not even like a sole conference title type thing, like a outright, like to even share it. Like that has not happened in 17 years. So I'll take it. I'll take
I'll
it.
take it.
I'm glad we got something out of this season. Who knows what else we'll get, but at least we got one banner, just like last year. At least we got one banner.
We got a banner, and we
Hopefully
could get two.
we
could
hang
get
up
three.
like three more. So
yes. There is one other thing that I saw before the game that I meant to reply to, and you did reply to. A listener of this show, Coach Steve.
Oh yeah,
said that the tournament
I
is
don't know
more
what that was
important
about
than the regular season. And
I don't know what that was. That was
I'm
a weird
sure
take.
you're listening. I'm sure you're listening. I just want to say you're wrong.
Yeah, that's a weird take. I thought that was a little strange.
Now he tweeted later, should they do away with conference tournaments? No, not. I don't think that's the case at all. And I'm kind of okay with that determining the auto bid as well. But the regular season championship is way more prestigious and more important.
I think the bigger difference comes from the Power 5 or the Power 6 or 7 or whatever you want to call it, and the other schools, the other conferences. Yeah. I think that's where it really comes into play. Like you go 20-0 in your conference schedule. If you're, I don't know, Longwood, if you go 20-0 in your conference schedule and then you lose in the first round of your conference tournament, like that's tough. Like that's the tougher part. Like with these schools, like if you're that good in the regular season, you're still getting to the tournament, even if you don't win your first round matchup in your conference tournament. So I don't know. Yes, I thought that was a strange take. Steve, we've already talked about this. I don't think they should go away from the conference tournaments. I think they are important. Yeah. I don't think it's like football. I think there's certainly discussions to be made about how football should be handing out their postseason spots and all that type of thing. But I think basketball, I think it's all very important to have it all. But I don't think that the conference tournament is more important than the regular season. I think winning a 20-game schedule, having the best record after a 20-game schedule is far more important than winning 3 games in 3 days. I mean, they're all important when it comes to seeding and everything else, but I would certainly take the regular season title. We should have got it last year. Let's just get it out there now.
Yeah, should be back to back. Illinois has won the most Big Ten regular season games the last 2 seasons and have one banner to hang for it.
I'll take it. One is better than none. RJ, we didn't talk about RJ Melendez.
RJ's back.
He was on the court. RJ with Melendez was back on the court after his appendectomy. Hit a 3. Was nice to see him on the court get a few minutes tonight. So that was certainly nice because they're going to need him. Who knows? Do we have an update on Jacob Grandison? I mean, I figured tonight wasn't going to happen, but is there any sort of a timetable on when he actually might play again?
No, I have not heard. Okay. And honestly, normally I'm like locked into Twitter from an hour and a half prior to tip, up to tip, like seeing the updates and all that. And I was kind of tuned out tonight. I was hanging this thing up.
We didn't talk about that.
If you're watching on my YouTube, I have a huge fat head 2022 NCAA tournament bracket hanging on my wall behind me. Not perfectly placed, but it's okay. You can see most of it unless I swing around a little bit. It needs to be moved a little farther out of closer to the edge of the frame. But yeah, I'm going to fill that out on Selection Sunday and keep that updated. Got my dry erase markers right here next to me. I'm pretty excited about that. Barstool Carl at the game just tweeted a picture. He gave Brad Underwood a kiss back because a couple weeks ago Underwood kissed him on the cheek. Now Carl's kissing Brad on the cheek. Video from I think it's Carl's video from the locker room. The players dousing Underwood with the bottles of water, and then Andre Curbelo comes in with what looks like a trash can and dumps it on Underwood, and it's full of water. So great scenes in Champaign tonight. If there was anywhere in the world I would want to be, it would have been there. But I was there a couple nights ago, got to see a win. So all good there. Going to the Big Ten tournament?
I don't know. I'm not planning to, but
Friday at 11:30. I just looked. Tickets aren't as bad as I thought they would be. You can get in the building for $65. Now it's upper levels of Gamebridge Fieldhouse, but I know I'm in the same boat as you. All right. Anything else before we go? This was a long post-game show, but there was a lot to talk about. All right.
Just happy. Yeah. That was fun. Didn't see that coming. Iowa's a good team. We didn't really even talk about Iowa. Iowa is a good team. That is a team that you do not want to. You do not want to see that team in the tournament. You just don't. They have been playing. They've been playing really well. They didn't make free throws down the stretch, so that was not good for them. But
they were 10 of 22 from the free throw line.
It's a big win for Illinois. All right, I'm done.
Yep.
Go ahead. Yep. Sign me off. And go ahead and plug our new Instagram.
I was going to say, we do have a new Instagram at No One Asked Us Pod on Instagram, and also a Facebook page. I don't know if you were aware of that.
I did not know that.
We have a Facebook page for our show now as well. So our show has its own social media channels, and we can stop using our personal ones for Instagram and Facebook. Now we have No One Asked Us Pod on Facebook and on Instagram. So if you could give us a like on those and like all our posts and stuff on there, that would be great. We're also on Twitter at No One Asked Us Pod. I'm at Craig W. Choate. He's at the Logan Lee. All that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe. That would go a long way. If you're on Apple or Spotify, wherever you're listening to us, rate and review us. That would be very much appreciated. Once again, Illinois regular season Big Ten champs, 74-72 over Iowa. First time since 2005. Illinois will hang a banner next season for the regular season Big Ten championship. Big Ten tournament starts for Illinois Friday. That's their first game. The tournament starts on Wednesday. We'll have you covered for that. Even if we're there, we'll do a post-game show. If we're not, we'll do a post-game show. We'll figure it out. But we'll have post-game shows likely for most of those games. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We do really appreciate it. We'll see you here in a couple days. Tomorrow, actually, if you listen to our weekly podcast, we're going to record one tomorrow. You can listen to that as well. Thanks for listening. For Logan, I'm Craig. Hang the banner.
Illini.